Siddhaswarupananda, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Nama Siddhaswarupananda, Paramahamsa Davide, Gora Karuna Swarupaya, Radha Krishna Prestayate.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana.
Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayana.
Radha Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaurabhakta Vrinda.
Radha Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasudeva Gaurabhakta Vrinda.
Mohana Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Madana Mohana,
Krishna,
Mohana Govinda Rama,
Krishna,
Jaya Jaya Purana. Jaya Jaya Shiva Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Shiva Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestaya Te.
So today we will continue our study program wherein we stopped yesterday. To give us wisdom about the foundation of what we are doing and engaging in, which is based upon the absolute truth of our eternality, our position and function. I'll read here the teachings of Lord Krsna so we can have clarity, and while we are traveling in this world with his body, Arjen, tell him that to stay away from there. Say something because he's always moving and disturbing. But better stay at the back lap because he disturbs people. He cannot control his mind. Ba? We're nearing the end of the year according to the calendar, December. And if you look what's happening, December means happiness. December means an experience. We should be experiencing joy in our heart. If we are not able to understand and have clarity about the wisdom given to us by the saintly person and the Supreme Person himself, because of what we have been exposed to, hearing sounds, sound vibration, that is based upon search for happiness that culminates of experience joy through activities with our body and what we can get that will be in connection of trying to fulfill and have this joy through the senses and following the mind, because that is what we have been experiencing through our lives. But it's sad that every year, everybody's expecting happiness that they're longing, and it's only during December times, at the end of the year. Then after the end of the year, everybody begins to experience what happened, and they talk about the sensual experience they had, and what have we really experienced, because if you look closely and analyze, if your body is 22 years old, how many Decembers have you experienced? Yeah, now it's 21, now 22 na naman, But for all those years, at the beginning of the year, January, we have our focus already na during December time, Christmas, we'll be happy. We'll have this experience of happiness based upon our experience through the senses, through the mind. So I'll read these teachings of Lord Krsna, and also how one can be experiencing this joy that is connected with us, inseparable from us. This happiness is inseparable from us, but we're looking at the wrong direction because we are blinded by this ignorance of not understanding our true nature. That love is eternal, happiness is eternal, if it is on a transcendental level, meaning it's connected with the will of God and the desire of God. So people, they ask, they talk about, because we chant the names of Lord Krsna, Gopala Govinda Rama, and they ask questions. Who is God? How do you know there's God? But if you ask them closely, tell them, you're asking me a question. But before I answer your question, can you please define what you're asking? Define the definition or the meaning of God. They cannot answer. Because they are asking a question they don't know. So how can we know about the Supreme Person? How can we know about our true transcendental nature? It must be based upon the all-knower Supreme Person who can give us guidance and who can protect us. They're trying to use their mind because the mind is so limited. When they think of God, they actually don't know. They cannot see with their eyes. What they see here are the temporary beauty that is actually an illusion. This word is an illusion. It's real, but illusion meaning all the forms you see are undergoing changes. And you are looking through the eyes, made of matter, because everything you see is matter, through the eyes. And with intelligence, through science, from learning from individuals who, who research, we can understand about electricity that we cannot see, the air that we cannot see, but we never ask, how come there is this continual search for security, joy, and happiness, and it seems that I always fall far short into acquiring it, When I get it, it's gone. There's no actual continuity and foundation because it's based upon this temporary world. So before understanding the Supreme Person, one must first know and ask what He really wants to us, not on in a way that you ask questions that you don't even know the meaning, So I'll read here about our situation, because the foundation has already been settled, that we are a different energy from matter. So the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, or Arjuna. Krishna is talking to Arjuna. And is directing the wandering of all the living entities who are seated on as a machine made of material energy. We are being driven by a force greater than us. When we identify with this body, we are either influenced by the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, or the mode of ignorance. That's how we can see. We're looking for happiness, and then we don't see we cannot comprehend that when we are given the opportunity, just like a fish on the shore, given the opportunity to go back to the water, his natural habitat, he hesitates. Just like God comes, but who's really seeing God? And one definition of the Supreme Person is the cause of all causes. He's the source of love. He's self-sufficient. And now we will describe here how we can be in that state. And I'll read this advice and teachings of Lord Krishna so we can be connected with that world of joy we're always searching. Because every day we have meditation. We meditate on so many things, We meditate about what we will receive during Christmas, Who's gonna give me gifts, where will we go, Where will we go in this planet of death, in this dead world, to experience joy, to experience life? Some of them, those rich people, who are troubled, they go to a place where they can experience, they go to a very calm place where they try to portray it, that they're sitting down on this inside this chateau or nice place somewhere out there in Switzerland, and they're roasting, marshmallow and eating, and what's that you call you? Chestnuts? How's that sound? And you have this inkling, I want to experience the joy. I want to be happy. And you see these people trying to portray sitting down, roasting marshmallow, eating and then having this Christmas, cheers, 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 cheers. But for us here, it's just simply hope, imagining, trying to figure it out and try to meditate upon it. And then we sing songs. In the Philippines, there's no snow here, And you know what the people sing? Was that reindeer? Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer is sleighing. And everybody, I want to experience that snow. So they want to go to Canada, where they can play throwing snowballs and making snowman and try to, wow, snowman. So these are being portrayed to us as joyful, as will give us happiness. So I'll tell you something. Relationship with the Supreme Person. And Lord Krishna tells us, O Scion of Bharata, surrender unto Him utterly. By His grace, you will attain transcendental peace and supreme and eternal abode. A world that is not touched by this misery, and it is a continual meditation upon what is transcendental that will really give joy to the heart. For example, there's this child, the mother brings her or him to this mall, and because the mother is looking for something, she puts the child by the side of the security guard, so the child will be secured while the child is sleeping, But the child, the baby, the small child, baby child, is so much, for long he's been experienced the comfort of the mother, the shelter, the security, and the happiness of embracing her mother. Then she wakes up. She looks around. It's festivities around, lollipop, all the cotton candies there, the dolls, the Barbie dolls and everything. Everybody's joyful, bringing balloons and everything. And she cries, "Where's my mama?" Wow! The security comes. All the sales lady comes. "Oh, no, I'm gonna give you this chocolate candy, this doll, Barbie doll. No. The baby, what will he? No! My mama. Why? Because her shelter is her mama. So when you come to the point of following the process of chanting the holy names, what will happen is that we begin to realize. And when we chant, our longing for God becomes focused upon Him, doing His will, loving Him. And the more we chant, the more we become purified. And we hear the pastimes of the Supreme Person. Then God manifests, descending down. So, what we are actually longing is an eternal world and relationship that is connected with our eternality and our eternal activities. But because of what we hear in this world, the sound we hear, like I was picking up flowers a while ago, You know how they put this, they put fear in your hearts, all this to hype you, this radio commentator, this DJ sa radio, they can just tell, somebody met an accident somewhere along the crossing in Quezon, and they're now being taken care by the 911, the ambulance took care of, was called, and all those people who are capable of rescuing them took care of them and brought them to the hospital. But no, that's not how they present. They put fear in your heart, Somebody got bumped in Quezon, It's a dangerous place. Immediately, they try to get your attention, They can even tell you that, because people are not following the protocol of distancing, they go to work, a place where a lot of people are intermingling with one another. Now, they got contaminated with the COVID virus. No, that's what they do. In Kibawe, it's quarantine, lockdown. No, everybody's afraid, It's fiesta in Kibawe, but there will be lockdown. Everybody's anxious. We cannot, what will we do? We cannot buy ukay-ukay. What will happen to the businessman, How about, I cannot go to my auntie, they're roasting 10 pigs there, You're always anxious you cannot get what you want. That's what you hear in this world. But there is something that we have neglected when we are in ignorance, when we are blinded. So you look at the sun. The sun comes. You see clearly with your eyes, because the sun touches the body, deflected, you can see. So there is a science wherein we can experience this connection. Just like this young child, this young baby child crying for her mother, Mommy! Do we have that relationship with the Supreme Person? That without Him? No. Because of our conditioning of following the mind. The mind has become our shelter, the director of our lives, because we have been dominated by material nature through the influence of the three modes. But it's very hard to see that when we identify with the body. That even though we have experienced so many Christmas, my body is 22 years old. Since I was young in the body, I was every time I go to school, it's Christmas time, everybody, Christmas party, and then you follow what the Western people do, they put socks. But in the Philippines, why not put a big sock, So my papa can Santa Claus can give me bicycle, big bicycle or whatsoever, This is the meditation we do. We have been focused upon this world. We are not really longing, loving, having a relationship with someone who can satisfy our longing. Because we are following the mind and following the senses. In the process, in that situation, we are cut off from the source of happiness. We are in illusion, we are in ignorance. That's why the Maha Mantra or the holy names of Krishna, not different from Him, will purify us. So we can see what we're longing for. The more we chant, the more we experience, you begin to long for a relationship that is eternal. And then, the more you chant, the more you become purified, the more you become attached to the chanting of the holy names. So I'll read here the story of Bali Maharaj. How he is guided by his surrender to the Supreme Person. And he's so truthful and focused upon pleasing God. He makes a stand to do the bidding, this love that he has inseparable from him, and it's directing that into doing what is pleasing to the Supreme Person. And this is what he experienced at the time he came in contact with Lord Krishna, Lord Vamanadev. I'll just read this. So, in the beginning, because Bali Maharaj, he came from the family of demons. He's in control of the universe, the lower planetary system, the middle, this planetary and the higher planetary system. So Lord Krishna came to him as a Brahmana, and it's a custom that when a saintly person comes to the house of the king or any householder, they offer obeisances and respect and treat him kindly, and an offering of giving him gifts. So he was in a situation wherein he has advisor, and Sukracharya, who sees Lord Krishna, and he advised Bali Maharaj. This is what he said. This person falsely appearing as a brahmachari is actually the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Hari, who has come in this form to take away all your land, wealth, beauty, power, fame, education. After taking everything from you, he will deliver you to Indra. Lord Bamanadev. And he said, he asked you just 3 steps of your land. And he said, you have promised to give him 3 steps of land in charity. But when you give it, he will occupy the 3 worlds. Because Bali Maharaj owns temporarily. He's in control. He's the person who is in the position of power. He will occupy the 3 worlds. You are a rascal. You do not know what a great mistake you have made. After giving everything to Lord Vishnu, you will have no means of livelihood. How then shall you live? You know? Bamanadev will first occupy the 3 worlds with 1 step. Then he will take the 2nd step and occupy everything in the outer space. Then he will expand his universal body to occupy everything. Where will you offer him the 3rd step? So the story goes like that, the narrative. So Lord Bamanadev asked just 3 steps of the kingdom of Bali Maharaj. And Bali Maharaj told him, you're just asking for the 3 steps. You're not really intelligent, But he did not know that the 3 step that Lord Krishna will take everything of his material possession. But one thing is not taken away from him. His devotion, his love. Just like when this child, I'm giving you this example that you can at least relate to, when the child wakes up and not see the mother, even though whatever they do, somebody dances in front of her, all those clowns, showing her Barbie dolls, cotton candy, lollipop and everything, No way, So the receptionist will call, there is a child here, he's been crying for hours, gasping for air. Who's the mother? Where is she? And the mother, when she hears that, oh, my child, immediately the mother runs. What's happening to her? Where is she? And then the child sees the mother, Oh, mama, embrace the mother. And the mother protects the child. That's the relationship. So we ask this question. Do we have that relationship with the Supreme Person? Are we experiencing, when a person is drowning, what is the most important factor that he wants to get when the person is drowning? Air. So we can see in the life of Bali Maharaj that state. today? Okay na? So my point is this, let's continue this tomorrow because time is running out. But the point is this, we must be established in what is eternal. You are eternal, me, the living force. Love is eternal. The joy which we are looking for is eternal. And it can only be satisfied through taking shelter of the Supreme Purifier, our eternal friend, the cause of all causes, who is self-sufficient, who has inconceivable potencies, who can make a decision that when we cry for Him, Krsna, by following the instruction of our spiritual master, the saintly person, who is the confidential loving servant of God, and tells us, you just cry, Krsna, Krsna, then Krsna will be with us. And that is God's inconceivable potency and His unconditional love for us. So we don't need every year, while time is moving on and on, as the time, we should be thinking, we should be understanding that every year, time moves so fast, and every year, my stay in this body is being lessened and lessened and lessened because time moves so fast. So I should be intelligent to look back and see, for all those years I've been expecting that during Christmas I'll be happy. How many Christmas have passed by? And while I am inside this body, this vehicle, you should ask this question, have I really achieved it? Do I have this foundation for this relationship? The problem is how we can become free from this meditation or focus upon this material world. Our mind is set upon this world, which is temporary, not upon the joy we're really looking. Because the joy we're looking and for the happiness we're looking is directed upon the senses. And we are not, this body, we are not the senses. And our craving is for a different transcendental relationship that is connected with life. Life for life. Love for love, which is this dead matter, it's none. That's why when we have this focus of thinking that during Christmas, what will give me happiness is the gift I receive, or the cake, or the situation wherein I can be sitting in front of this, burning fire, in the chateau, and roasting marshmallow, and with my loved ones. How many times did you do that? You experienced that. Then after Christmas, everybody looks back. What really happened? Maybe next year, when I get next year, December 22, 1. After election, maybe this Christmas, a new administration will make me very happy, No way, because we are looking in the wrong direction. We are blinded by ignorance. We must be with wisdom of understanding our true nature and someone who is self-sufficient, our eternal friend. Because we don't have this idea of the Supreme Person. That's why we call God Krsna. Krsna means all attractive. He's the most beautiful. He's the most friendly. He's our eternal friend. He's the most kind. He loves us. But because we are not able to see Krsna to see the Supreme Person, because the medium we use is the ascending method with our senses through the mind, what we see beauty is actually not really beauty. It's just like the forms we see, Miss Universe, skin deep. What is really beautiful is the person whom we're trying to relate deflected upon the body, who leaves the body. The love, the care, that when that person who's caring for you and loving you leaves the body, we are not able to appreciate that. That's why when we have this discussion about clinical death, the person outside of the body is still thinking, how come I'm dead? But he cannot comprehend, or she cannot comprehend. She's looking at the body and saying, how come what they're doing to me, And she's watching, clinical death. You can also practice this meditation that we do in the beginning. When you chant, the yogi, he meditates. He watches his body. When he eats, he watches, and when he puts food to the mouth, he's in meditation. The prasadam I am eating, my tongue is tasting the sweetness or the bitterness or the saltiness. It enters his mouth, goes to his stomach. And when he looks around, he's looking through the eyes. When he sees somebody gets killed, he understands that person left the body. And he's looking through the eyes, hearing through the ear. But when you are so much engrossed, you're thinking, this is me. And it's really, there's no lull, it's spontaneous. Wow! That's why when you're driving a car, and somebody bumps you, go out, why did you bump me, So we must be able to distinguish between our body, our mind, and it can be achieved to be a real yogi through living the life of really experiencing connection with God through doing His will. That is the teaching of Lord Jesus Christ. But we don't take it seriously. But it will be the saving grace, His love, His effort, because when we chant the holy names, we're able to see His life. The world is in meditation. His care and love, how He sacrificed, how He's focused upon doing the will of the person He loves. So look at ourselves, Let's see, you can analyze and be really self-critical and look where you're heading, what have you really achieved, and are you really happy and joyful? But you're longing for a joy that is inseparable from you, and how come you're not getting it? Then we should assess and see, yes, there is a solution, but we must do the work. The spiritual master, Krsna, comes, but we must make that choice and effort. They don't work for you because they respect you. They respect your freedom of choice, because love means giving wholeheartedly. It's not taken by force. When you're loving someone, you're willing to sacrifice everything. Just like a mother who loves a child, the child falls down in the creek. She doesn't even know how to swim, but she jumps, Save the child. Make a stand to save the one she loves. So let's check if we're making progress, how much we're really experiencing this relationship of surrender and joy of serving the Supreme Person. And there are, statistics, spiritual statistics, how you can check it. In the prayer of Lord Chaitanya, he prays, about the holy names, how Krishna is so kind, he comes here to embrace us. the holy names, non-different from Him, but we have no attraction. We're not no attraction. We want something else, So we should check if we're making progress. Check what will happen to our life. We are very selfish, all of us. We just want to fend for ourselves. But it can be a transcendental selfishness because it will be in harmony with what you're really searching for. It's connected with doing the will of God, having a relationship with Him, surrendering to Him, who can protect you from all the anxieties you're experiencing. And that is what yoga is all about, union with God. And no material solution can address that problem. And nobody can address that problem of what you're searching for except God Himself, who is self-sufficient. Not from all these conditioned living entities who are not really loving the Supreme Person. And they try to put you in a situation wherein you're fearful. And they put forward threats to you, No, it's not like that. God loves you unconditionally. And He's just there, waiting, so we can experience this relationship if we turn our face to Him and follow the instruction of His loving servant. Haribol Namaste.
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate
Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prestayate
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayanya
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nayana
Bhakti Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasudeva Bhakta Vrinda
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Hari Bol Krishna
Gopala Govinda Rama
Hari Bol Krishna
Madana Mohana
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana
Hari Bol Krishna
Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Jaya Shila Prabhupada, Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa, Jaya Jaya Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa. Namo Siddhaswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Gora Karuna Swarupaya Radha Krishna Prastayate.
Krsna